let's take Maria for a second,
Yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
Maria, how many houses did you sell last year?
70.
70.
Right.
This is the nicest, one of the nicest people on the
It's
planet.
perfect number.
Okay.
Really, truly, that's the agent you want to find. The perfect agent.
Listen.
My opinion.
So, what do you say to Maria going at 70? Because she works her tail off. She's a sweetheart. Where do you
first
make
of all, I
the
would
flip for her?
When I talk to her,
Yeah,
when I
really.
meet her and a realtor, I say, you know, I would, if you're a realtor, my favorite questions is, who you work for? What real estate company are you with? And they tell me, I said, what were you with before that? And because almost every realtor has worked for other companies, what I want them to do in their mind to know that change is okay. They have changed before, changing again is not the big deal. So I said, who were you with before you were with that company? And most agents have 2 or 3 they've been with, right? And so I said, why did you change? Were you changing because you were pissed off at someone, or because this was so much unbelievably more wonderful? Most of the time they were pissed off. People leave pain. They're not driven by, gain. They're driven by pain.
Interesting.
The most people are, right? So I said, I want to find your pain points. What do you like about what you do? How long have you been doing it, by the way? They would tell me how long you're doing it. I said, okay. I said, on a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give your business today? And most people say 6 or 7. Almost everybody says 6 or 7. Some few people say 8. I had one guy tell me 9.9999. One dude, and that guy I brought to Keller. He was a $42 million producer 25 years ago when that was volume, right? And so I asked him and he said 9.9999. And I said, okay, cool. I don't care what they say to me. I said, what would make it a 10? And he's thinking he's all puffed up, and I go, yeah, all right. What would make it a 10? And he says, what do you mean? I said, well, what would make it a 10? You're not at a 10 right now. What's a 10? And he said, well, I'd like to make more money. No, he didn't say it. He said, I'd like to sell more houses. Ooh. Right? I'd like to sell more. I said, really? You just want to work more? What kind of a goal is that? I want to work more. I want less time off. I want less time with my family. I said, do you know what a vacation is? Right? He said, yeah, I take one. What? You take one? You take one vacation. What do you do? And he says, well, I go to the Hotel Del Coronado for 2 weeks. I sit by the pool and I stay drunk for 2 weeks. And then I come home. And I said, well, how does your family feel about that? That's the only vacation they ever get to go. And you're sitting by the pool. I said, I'll bet you they don't like your cell phone. You're probably not sitting by the pool just sitting. You're talking on the phone, aren't you? And they go, well, yeah. And his kids told me that they threw his phone in the pool many times because they never got any time with him. And as I got to know him, I spent more time with his wife than he did. And I said, you know what? I spend more time with your wife than you do.
Rob, okay. Rob Quick, unplugged, baby.
And finally he said, well, you know what? If you can convince my financial people, then fine. And I had probably easily 20, 25 meetings with his financial people.
Wow. Right?
And so they all said, you got to move. This is it. This is the deal. And all he wanted was the company he was with before was Realty Executives in Arizona. And they were buying a building. The company was buying a building, a big building that was going to be a mega building. And I was in that office, and I was the lowest producer in the office. I was about a $5 million producer, and everyone else went from $5 million to 42 million. This is 25 years ago, right?
Wow.
And so I was the low person. 150 agents in this office. Powerful, powerful office. And the dude said, I would like to get a percentage of that building. I'd like 1% of the building. I'll even pay you for it. I just want to say I'm an owner.
Wow.
And they turned him down. And the next day he joined me. Because he wanted equity. He wanted ownership. He wanted to be able to say, I'm an owner, which is what EXP provides.
Yep.
Okay? You automatically get equity like never before. It's thrust upon you. Right? You've got to deny it. No, I don't want it. Right? It's the most phenomenal thing. And we looked at it was the icing on the cake. Didn't really think it was much. I had no idea that it would be millions of dollars.